Here we are on Fisherman's Wharf in beautiful Monterey Bay in California, and I'm here to talk about emotional bullshit. Now, in the last video, I was talking about the relationship between John and Emily, their marriage, and how John had an affair and completely destroyed the entire relationship because he was in denial of essential facts about his marriage. He created a delusional reality in which having an affair was very, very appropriate for him, it was going to work. And then he blamed Emily for all the destruction that happened because it was her fault that he had the affair. Now it's time to talk about the solution. Now the solution to something as tremendously destructive as emotional bullshit is really basically very, very simple. It's fundamentally just taking care of your core needs. I define a core need as any behavior or any attitude which advances your long-term best interest. Long-term, not immediate satisfaction, long-term. Now the question would be, well, why don't we just automatically do that? Why don't we automatically take care of our core needs? Because the cards are stacked against us. We do not like pain and conflict. We avoid it. We do everything to kind of get through the day and sort of slide around some painful situation to avoid a conflict here. Now, in a relationship, it's impossible to avoid some pain and conflict. You can't just keep dancing around these issues all the time. And the other thing is that as a country and as a people, we are a country that's focused on short-term satisfaction. Have fun now. Go ahead and go out to dinner and have a good time, take the vacation, buy something now, spend, spend, spend. Although clearly with the financial crisis we're in, that's going to be changing. But that has been very much the focus of our entire economy. At this point, I'm going to talk about another couple, Jessica and Mark, especially Jessica. Because Jessica came to see me because she was with Mark for about 2 years, and she's still with him, and she's having a lot of frustration. Jessica wants to settle down. Jessica wants to have a baby. Mark initially said, well, he was sort of interested in that too, but what's going on with Mark is Mark does what Mark wants to do. He's out on boats all the time, and he's scuba diving, he goes fishing, he goes bike riding, he hangs out with his buddies. He mostly leaves Jessica alone. And she's wondering, what's going to happen? Now, Jessica is in denial of an essential fact, that Mark is really doing what he wants to do. When Jessica focuses on her long-term best interests, her core needs, she is realizing that Mark is not coming along with her. Does he have a long-term best interest? Does he have a core need that goes off into the future? Apparently not. It's one weekend after another, and it's not working for her. Now, the problem, though, with Jessica right now is that she's still in a delusional bubble. She's created this delusional reality in which if she is a little more of this, a little more of that, more patient, more understanding, or nags a little bit more, or argues a little bit more, something, that there's going to be a miracle. And Mark is going to miraculously change, and she's going to have her needs met. In the meantime, she blames Mark for being a jerk. Mark blames Jessica for being too demanding. So they're locked into a blame cycle, and they can't get out of it. So once again, the way out of this is the way out of her situation is to understand that in order for her to focus on her core needs, she's going to have to directly engage in some conflict with Mark. At some point, she's going to have to do that, and she's going to have to go through some pain. The difference will be that the conflict and the pain she's going to be going through is going to be in the service of her core needs and not keep going around in a circle of denial, delusion, and blame, denial, delusion, and blame. Now, in the next video, I want to present two techniques that are very, very specific. One is called the master question. It's something you ask yourself whenever you get into any situation where you're involved in denial, delusion, and blame. And the other is constructive conflict. It's an organization, it's a structure to make sure that whenever you engage in conflict, it works out to be a constructive process. So that will be in the next video. Thank you very much.